At the age of 31 years old, Warren Buffett became a millionaire. The year was 1962, and it happened when he merged the 7 partnerships he was heading into one. In January of 1962, these partnerships owned over $7 million, and his stake in that partnership was $1,025,000. But how did he accomplish this seemingly unattainable task in the 60s? Don't swipe or click away, because this is how Warren Buffett made his first million. The Buffett family had a motto. That motto was simple. No Buffett had created great fortune, but every Buffett left something to their children. This proves how frugal and conservative the family was. They valued saving and making money. If only they knew how much Warren Buffett would change these unwritten rules. Buffett loved business from a very young age. He loved collecting stuff, especially money. Ever since he started reselling gum door to door, he fell in love with business and making money. He was around 5 years old at the time, and his profit on a single pack of gum sold was only 2 cents. Instead of discouraging him, these narrow profit margins encouraged him to become even better at selling. Warren soon began working as a soda delivery kid. He sold newspapers, he was selling golf balls, and basically, he did everything he could to earn a few extra bucks. In his free time, he didn't go to play with the other kids. Instead, he went to the Omaha Public Library and read every book on finance, investing, and economy he could find. Warren wasn't like the other kids. He wasn't interested in playing. He was interested in investing. Warren and his sisters would spend hours at the racetrack stadium, smashing that like button just like you should if you haven't already. But no, in all seriousness, they were collecting tickets that people threw out thinking they were losers. But Buffett and his sisters cashed them in because they had some money on them. He kept reading in the library, and then he found the book that marked him the most in his youth, called 1,000 Ways to Make $1,000. Warren Buffett pored over this book as soon as he found it. Why? Because if he could make $1,000 from all of these 1,000 businesses, that means he could become a millionaire. Finally, a book that contained what Buffett was looking for. Was his quest for riches over? Not really. Some time has passed, and from all the after-school jobs, he managed to amass a fortune of a whopping $120 by the time he was 11. That gave him more than enough money to buy his first stock. The name of the company was City Service, and he had enough to buy 3 of its preferred shares. He took 114 hard-earned dollars and put it in the stock market. Did he make $1 million from this one stock? Not quite. You see, as soon as Warren Buffett invested his money, the company's stock fell. As if things weren't bad enough, he also convinced his older sister Doris to invest in the company. At school, Doris kept pestering him for the money. So as soon as the company rose, Buffett sold and he earned $15, $5 on each of the shares. But there was a problem. Soon after, the company's stock price rose to $202, and Buffett lost the opportunity to make $606. That day, he learned 3 lessons about money that he never forgot until the end of his life. First of all, he learned not to fixate on the price he paid. Second of all, he learned not to rush to sell for a small profit. And thirdly, he learned why it's important to never lose money, the most important lesson in his investing career. Warren implemented them in his investing strategy. In 1944, Buffett was working as a paper delivery boy, and he finally had $1,000 to his name. At the age of 16, he was making roughly around $175 per month from his newspaper delivery, which was more than the average engineer earned per month at the time. And mind you, this was while he was in high school. Not to mention, this happened after he bought a 40-acre farm for $1,200 and shared the profits with the farmer who worked there. In 1946, at the age of 16, Warren and a friend started a pinball machine business. He and his friend quickly built a small pinball machine empire before selling it for $1,200. At the age of 17, he had the equivalent of $50,000 to his name. That same year, in 1947, Warren began attending Wharton School at the University of Pennsylvania. But he wasn't a big fan of college. He went only because his father said so. His roommate couldn't believe just how easily Warren learned. He could read a book once and memorize it. In fact, Warren Buffett had such a profound memory that he could remember business stats and baseball stats better than the cards themselves. It's interesting how he could memorize whole volumes of stocks and companies. He knew all of their histories and how they were supposed to perform, and knew whether or not to invest in them. At this point, he spent the majority of his time in the library, reading books, reading articles, and poring over financial statements of hundreds of companies. He practically built a mental library of stocks. He also studied accounting, which he now calls the language of business. At this point, he found The Intelligent Investor, a book that changed his life. He immediately sought Benjamin Graham, the man behind this book. He also read Security Analysis by Ben Graham, and he was officially in love with the person. He read The Intelligent Investor about a dozen times before going to Washington and Geico's headquarters in 1951 to meet Ben Graham. Geico for him was the embodiment of Graham's investment philosophy. He bought as much as he could of the company's stock. When he found out that Ben Graham was at Columbia Business School, he graduated with a bachelor's degree in business administration from the University of Nebraska, and then went on to study under Ben Graham, where he received his master's degree in economics. From 1951 until 1954, he was a stockbroker at his father's brokerage firm. However, he hated this job, as he believed he was paid to sell people more stocks, not to actually make them rich. During these 3 years, he applied for his dream job at Graham Newman. In 1954, they finally accepted him. He worked for the company in New York until 1956. He was earning $1,000 per week, and he had accumulated $174,000. At this point, he thought of retiring, but retirement for him meant taking other people's money and investing for them. So, on May 5th of 1956, he formed Buffett Associates Ltd., and this was the goose that laid Buffett's golden eggs. The first partnership had 7 partners in total and offered a 4% annual interest, but Buffett took 75% of the profits. He ran several partnerships, and all had these 2 rules. 1. People could withdraw money once a year in December. 2. Buffett didn't disclose any information about his investments, and still, he beat the Dow Jones by more than 16% per year. He was using the cigar butt strategy to find these companies, meaning he would find small and forgotten companies with a market cap of between $1 million and $10 million, and then sell them. However, he made sure all of these companies have sound fundamentals, and then he would invest. For example, he bought Sanborn Map for $45 a share, and the company held $65 in blue chip stocks. Basically, you got the company for free. But finding this was tedious work, and he had to pore over thousands of pages of financial statements. Eventually, in January of 1962, he merged all of the partnerships into one, and now he managed $7,178,500, of which he owned $1,025,000. Finally, at the age of 31, Warren Buffett realized his dream and became a millionaire. On a related note, do you agree with Warren Buffett's investing strategy? You can tell us in the comment section below. If you'd like more videos like these, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss any of them. And as always, thanks for watching, guys.